Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel, Body Mind Healing. My name is Maria Sanchez. I am a holistic health consultant, a family nurse practitioner, a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner, and a doctor in nursing practice. The topic for today is, why are there so many channel messages on the networks that only instill fear, tragedy, calamities? Many make them up, and the worst thing is that there are thousands of people who believe them and now live in terror. Yes, it is true that today the networks are full of messages identified as channelings because that's what attracts the attention of the users. But here the important thing is not to question the legitimacy of the messages or the ethics of those who publish them, but rather to discern the content of the message. As the saying goes, in the Lord's vineyard, there is everything. That is, there are subtle or not so subtle energies. So we need to pay more attention to the information we hear, receive, and read. People receive messages, the so-called channelings, depending on their vibrational frequency, and with just that, we can deduce a lot. There are also people who make up messages for simple convenience. However, the important thing is not to judge or criticize them, but to learn to discern information and to be alert so as to not fall into manipulation and deception. Words, like everything else in the world, in the universe, is energy. Therefore, any energy can deceive us, confuse us, program us. This is how many people have lost their free will and are now slaves of those minds that have an agenda. For us, they're cunnings, dangerous, manipulative people, but to them, they're just attributes put into action. For them, they are just the application of the law of the fittest. But it is not their fault. It is our fault for not paying attention, for not being mindful of bad intentions, for being weak and surrendering into the shams, for relinquishing our power to those minds by believing the nonsense they make up or they come up with, for falling into the trap of the Savior, where they promise us heaven and earth, for opening our channel to information that is supremely dense, malicious, and toxic for our being. It is important to emphasize that all of us have the same capabilities, that some of us have worked internally more than others, and that therefore we now vibrate at a slightly higher frequency, which makes us more perceptive is another thing, but anyone can channel. The only thing required is will, discipline, perseverance, and a great desire to want to be better. All of us can receive messages of light because we are all created equal and we are all fractals of the same consciousness. The Creator did not make some of us better than others, nor did He give some greater powers over others. What happens is that some of us do not believe our own power and rather focus on attention on the external world. We get distracted and dulled by the seductions of the material world and do not give ourselves the time and opportunity to quiet our mind, listen to our soul, open ourselves to receive those messages of light, love, and empowerment. On the other hand, we wanted to come to live a different experiences for whatever reason. That is a personal matter. And that is why not all of us are doing the same thing. But to graduate from the 3D dual experience and be able to advance to a higher vibrational plane that is more subtle and less dense, we all have to go through all the experiences that this three-dimensional world offers. And since we obviously cannot live all the experiences at the same time, it seems as if some are more fortunate than others. And here I bring up an erroneous or limited belief that we have held for an extended period of time. We believe that success is owning cars, houses, having a lot of money, but that is not success. Success is respect, love, dedication to our human experience. Success is the way we live each process, how we solve each challenge, how we manage to fulfill each task until the last day of our lives. That is success. Everything else is simple noise. It is the ego doing its thing. If we are fractals of the higher consciousness, how can we be poor and limited? How can we not be successful by nature? That is why it is so important to accept ourselves, respect our processes, love our reality, which is not the same as giving up. and do the best we can while we continue living this wonderful human experience. Nothing we live is a mistake or a waste or an injustice. Nothing we experience is a process that we have not asked to experience, nor one that we cannot solve. Everything, absolutely everything we experience is an opportunity to learn, grow, and advance on our evolutionary path. In returning to the subject of channeling, one of the best ways or filters to identify negative messages is paying attention to their content and their effect on us. That is, if a message talks about disasters and things of that nature, or if they instill fear, anguish, then it is not there. If a message says it is a channel message from an ascended master or a being of light warning us about disasters, dirty businesses, the end of the world, whether a president is corrupted or not, etc., it is not there. In the spiritual world, everything we experience is wonderful opportunities to expand and evolve. Errors do not exist, nor does judgment, criticism, envy, jealousy, etc. So we will not find beings of light speaking ill of anyone. What we see on social media are ego games to raise ratings and to get more likes. We will never experience something we have not asked for, and no one experiences what is not theirs. So there is not anything to fear. Everything we experience and live is perfect and is part of our soul plan and divine plan for our earth. Messages of light and love will never instill fear in us. That is the clue. The effect of light messages is empowering, encouraging, serene, and remind us that we are not alone. These messages are a beautiful gift of love and courage to give us strength and to not give up. Because living the dual experience, and even more so, embarking on the process of awakening consciousness is not an easy job. It's not easy at all. But what about the natural disasters? Well, just like humanity, the planet also evolves. Nothing in the universe is static. Everything evolves. That is why natural disasters exist. On one hand, they are the accumulation of energy based on our behaviors. That is the result of the collective unconscious, which, when they happen, help us become aware and encourage us to improve. And on the other hand, they are part of the normal cycle of planetary evolution. Every experience we live has only one objective: to help us evolve and awaken to a higher consciousness. So, the difficult events we experience are invitations for us to pay attention to those aspects within us that are still challenging. For example, fears, intolerance, judgment, impatience, non-acceptance, etc. And then to observe them, work on them, heal them, and transcend them. Natural disasters are not new. Humanity has gone through many transformations over centuries, and we will continue to go through them until we go inward and heal, and as a result attain that long-awaited but so feared awakening of consciousness. And it is feared only because it is tough to go through it. It is intense to go through the dark night of the soul. It is hard to go through that profound and deep and wrenching process of cleansing, detachment, healing, and raising our vibrational frequency. As I mentioned before, that is the reason why we are not all at the same level of consciousness and why we are not all able to understand the messages of light and love. And rather, we feel strongly attracted to messages that divert us from our purpose. And although it sounds harsh, not all of us have the desire to awaken. Many of us still live identified with the rational mind, attached to the ego, letting ourselves be absorbed by attachments and materialism, wanting to continue in the comfort zone, and all of those behaviors hold us back. But we must not lose faith that one day we will fill ourselves with the courage to embark on the path of awakening. For some of us, it is important to continue sowing seeds and stay focused on our process, being the best version of ourselves every day, accepting and respecting that not all of us are ready to make that dimensional leap, observing with love the processes of others because everything is perfect in the universe and everything and everyone has his or her own time and space. If the universe is not in a hurry, why should we be? May the inner peace that we cultivate today expand and guide us always. Until next time.